what are the three biggest mistakes letting agents make when they go into Airbnb and short-term lettings? Merilee, you are the queen of the Short-Term Accommodation Association, people that brings all the major players together in the Airbnb short-term lettings market. What are those three mistakes? Talk to me.
I think the first mistake is actually thinking that the market is just Airbnb. Lettings agents often, because that's what everyone hears about in the press, thinks, oh, well, look, I just put some properties up on Airbnb and it'll be easy. First of all, Airbnb is only part of the market. That is only one channel. But secondly, having the right processes, having the right structures in place to manage that is exactly what will avoid those kind of Airbnb disasters that sometimes people are hearing about. And so I think that perception that it is, I'll just put some properties up on Airbnb is the biggest mistake I hear about.
It's interesting. There's a lot of letting agents that they just whack it on Rightmove. It sounds like people make the same mistake with short-term lets. Just whack it on Airbnb. It isn't as easy as that.
No, definitely not. And, I think especially because the expectations of the customers who are booking are that they're going to have a full hospitality service. And so I think that kind of comes on.
What do you mean by full hospitality service?
So, first of all, one of the things you see is that, of course, a property that's ready for tenants to move into does not mean it's a property that's ready for short-term rental guests to move into. They're expecting, kettle, fully fitted kitchen. They're expecting linens, towels, all these things as if they would be staying in a serviced apartment. And so making sure that the property is ready for that is really important. But also when something goes wrong, it isn't a 24 or 48-hour response time. They're expecting often 3-hour response time to make everything right.
And, does that mean the agents have to go in, check that the right number of forks are there and the glasses aren't broken? I mean, that sounds an awful lot of faff.
Look, it's of course how you build that relationship with the owner, but certainly, my team always does a blueprint of a home before we put it live. And we find that really important because we want to know if we're going to be managing it, that we're not going to end up having complaints and issues arising during the guest stays.
But I'm assuming the rewards are greater because you're having to do more work.
Look, the rates people pay on a nightly rate are higher. And, that's also why when people often try and work with companies in our sector, they say, oh, but, that's a high fee. Well, the fees are higher because there is more work. And I think that is something that, agents need to think about if they're prepared to do that.
I mean, if you don't mind me saying, what would a typical property in London rent for on a one-night basis on Airbnb?
Well, look, I can't
how
say.
How long's a piece of string?
No, look, I can say on my website because I know that well. The sort of minimum price that we sell properties for in low season would be around the £100 per night mark. And we've got properties that, not joking, literally go up to £50,000 a night. So it is a whole range, but it all depends on the location, the property, the quality. But it will tend to be, I would say, certainly for a central London property, 20 to 30% more per night than if it were on a long-term let.
And what sort of percentage can you, and I don't want to pry too much, but what sort of can an agent earn from, you're not going to earn much from £100 a night, are you?
Well, look, obviously, you're not only selling single nights. Normally in our industry, a 3-night minimum is pretty standard.
Okay.
And the average length of stay is much longer than that. Even pre-COVID, it was sort of 7 nights. And actually what we're seeing is length of stay is actually increasing. And I think that's also because you get digital nomads, you get lots of different people who are looking for more flexible ways to let. And so they're looking to our industry to provide those options for them.
What's the second mistake agents make?
The second mistake that agents make is trying to do it all themselves. Just thinking, oh, well, I've got some team members who are maybe not as busy as they could be. I'll just have those guys manage it. And not either training them well or indeed making sure you've got the right resource to actually deliver this new service.
And the third and final mistake?
The third and final mistake is just using the kind of technology and systems that you already have and not actually getting the right technology to make sure that it's as easy as possible to do it.
So are there specific technologies that work in the short-term lets that, you know, most agents use a CRM system for long-term lets? Would that long-term technology work particularly well in short-term, or would you recommend a more specialist CRM system?
No, I mean, you absolutely need a specialist system. I mean, we don't really call them CRM systems because they do a lot more. But, you know, I've mentioned there are technologies like Hosperia, Lavanda, Avantio that are out there that can actually help you do everything in one place, so that your team isn't going crazy, bouncing back between, you know, an Airbnb platform and an operational system and a CRM system. These kind of technologies bring it all together.
Thank you for your time today. We've done some other videos, our 3 top tips on what letting agents can do if they want to get into Airbnb, and also the help and guidance of the Short-Term Accommodation Association. Thank you for your time today, Merilee.
Thank you very much.